Hello, Nana.
Hari Om Talli.
How are you?
Very fine.
I'm muting all, Nana. You can unmute yourself now, and you can get started.
I'm very fine, Renuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasudrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Ramara,
Yes, Nana.
would you mind taking 1 to 30 today?
No problem.
Okay.
I will do. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ashtadashodhyayaha. Moksha Sannyasa Yogaha. Mokshasya Sannyasa Yogaha. Mokshaya Sannyasa Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvamichhami Veditum Tyagasya cha Hrishikesha Pritakeshi Nishudana. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Rahustyagam Vichakshanaha Tyajyam Doshavadityeke Karma Prahurmanishinaha Yajnadana Tapah Karma Natyajyamiti Chapare Nischayam Shrunu Me Tatra Tyage Bharata Sattama Tyago Hi Purusha Vyaghra Trividha Samprakirtitaha Yajnadana Tapah Karma Natyajyam Karyameva Tat Yajno Danam Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishinam Etanyaphi tu karmani Sangam Tyaktva Phalani cha Kartavyani ti me partha Nishchitam matamuttamam Niyatasya tu sannyasaha Karmano nopapadyate Mohat tasya parityagaha Tamasah parikirtitaha Dukkhamityeva yat karma Kaya klesha bhayatyajet Sakritva rajasam tyagam Naiva tyaga phalam labhet कार्यमित्येव यत् कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्यागः सात्विको मतः न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सत्यागीत्यभिधीयते अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित् पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम् अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथक्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम् शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम् पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथक्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम् यत्तु कृत्स्नवदे कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसान् अनपेक्ष च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते मुक्तसङ्गो अनहंवादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुः लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः अयुक्तः प्राकृतस्तब्धः शठो नैष्कृतिकोलसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी. I can continue for some time, Nana. You're muted. If you want me to continue. Nana, you're muted. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa partha rajasi adharmam dharmamiti ya manyate tamasavrita sarvarthan viparitanscha buddhi sa partha tamasi
Hari Om.
yaya dharayate मनः प्राणेन्द्रियः क्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
Hari Om. Relax. Thank you. Dhrutyaya dharayate mana pranendriya kriyaha. Yeah. Yogena avyabhicharinya dhritissa pada satviki. Yaya tu dharma kamadhan dhrutya dharayate arjuna prasangena phalakankshi dhritissa pada rajasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedha dhritissa pada tamasi. Sukham tvidanim trividham shrunu me bharatarshava abhyasatramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati yattadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam Vishayendriya samyogat yattadagre amrutopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukam raja samsmrutam yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamatmanaha nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahrutam natadasti prudhivyamba divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakrutijairmuktam yedebhisyatri burgunaihi brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavairgunaihi Shemo damastapashaucham Kshantirajyavamev cha Jnanam vijnanamastikyam Brahma karma swabhavajam Shauryam tejo dhrutirdakshyam Yuddhe chapi apalayanam Danamishvara bhavascha Khatram karma swabhavajam Krushi Gaurakshamanidyam Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam Swe Swe Karmanyabhirataha Samsiddhim Labhate Naraha Swakarma Nirata Siddhim Yatha Vindati Tachruno Eta pravrutti bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swabhavaniyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham sahajam karma kaunteya Sadoshamapi natyajet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumena asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyasena siddhim prapto yatha brahma तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ युधस्य च विविक्तसेवी लघ्वासी यतवा कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्मम शान्तो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परां भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरं सर्वकर्मण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम् चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अध चेत्त्वमहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योच्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्. Can you get back to 49th verse? We were covering yesterday. Yeah. Correct, 49th. Asakta
There are a
Buddhi.
few questions, Nana.
Yeah, we will go there and we will take up the questions.
Okay.
49. Asakta Buddhi Sarvatra Jetatma Vigata Spruha Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam Sanyasena Adhigachyati. That Paramam Naishkarmyam Siddhim Sanyasena Adhigachyati. That's what we have seen. Yes, questions, please.
There are 2-3 questions. One question is regarding the Swadharma. Swakarma, we all know what our daily roles and responsibilities are. But when it comes to Swadharma, supposing you do not know what your Swadharma is, but you're doing your work with an attitude of a karma yogi, and maybe what you're doing is not in line with your Swadharma, does it still count as, does it still give the benefit of the Antakarna Shuddhi?
Now, how are you doing your Swakarma? Based on what have you picked up the Swakarma?
Based on your responsibilities, your daily responsibilities and different roles.
Okay.
Like for me, I'm taking on the role of a mother or a wife or a doctor or a daughter. So based on that, I'm taking up my responsibility or the role of a friend and doing it. So
no, these are based on your attachment. Apart from this, what else are your Swakarmas? See, as a mother, attached. As a wife, attached. As a friend, attached. These are attachment-born Swakarmas. But what are your Swakarmas?
Shastra Vihita Karma, doing my Nitya Karma, and then as a mumukshu, pursuing the path of knowledge as a karma yogi.
Good. That is tantamount to Swadharma.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, are you happy conforming to the Swakarma and Swadharma?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means what? That is Sahajam Karma. See, what is not acceptable to you will be against Sahajam. It will be against Sahajam. That is an acid test. So what are you doing?
Basically, any karma that you do, that you feel fulfilled, that you feel happy within, that becomes Sahajam.
Correct, Sahajam. Not only that, Swadharma and Swakarma, they kind of merge. Swadharma is what? Swadharma Anushtanam. How do you do Dharma Anushtanam? Is it not through karma? Any dharma that you want to conform to, it is through some means of karma. So the kind of they tend to merge. Swadharma, Swakarma, they tend to merge. There is no dharma that you can accomplish without karma, without the equivalent karma. The dharma anugamya karma. In accordance with the dharma, that karma. So karma becomes important. In line with dharma, okay? Yeah, next question.
Another question was with respect to, it may not be appropriate. If it is not, you can skip the answer. Is when you look at the different yugas, starting from Satya Yuga, then Treta, and then Dwapara, and now Kali Yuga, we see that there is an ascendance of adharma and a decline in dharma.
Correct.
What factors contribute to this? Why is there this ascendance of the adharma? There were a lot of good people, dharmic people in Satya Yuga. What are those factors that have actually caused this?
This is
and again from Kali Yuga, it goes back to Satya Yuga, isn't it? It's like a cycle.
Correct. Correct. See, Kali Yuga may be people are the worst behaved, dharma-wise and even adharma-wise. Why I said adharma-wise also is, what is the adharma, sahita karma, people are keen on doing. So adharma-wise also. Dharma-wise means what is required to be done by you, Shastra Vihita karma, okay, and Shastra Sammita karma, Guru Sammita karma, that kind of a thing, you are letting it go by. You are paying no attention at all. So there is from Satya Yuga till Kali Yuga, there is a general degradation on conforming to Dharma. Maybe towards the end of Kali Yuga, people will realize that this is futile. This futility of not conforming to Dharma is degrading the humanity. We would like to live in a place where people conform to Dharma and forsake adharma. Maybe that kind of an attitudinal change towards the end of Kali Yuga, if it comes, then the Satya Yuga dawns after the twilight hours of Kali Yuga and the twilight hours of Satya Yuga. The Satya Yuga dawns, maybe people will be very, very good then. We can only find out the reasons why. We can't be sure whether those are the reasons. Yeah. Third question.
That's it. I have these questions. Anybody else has any questions? Please put forth.
Okay. Then we are on to the 49th verse.
Yes.
Can I ask one question? I have one question.
You can multiply the questions.
This is with the Swadharma and Swakarma. If there is conflict, if there is conflict between Swadharma and Swakarma, how do you handle it?
Where is a need for conflict? Just now I have answered as part of the answer to Brahmara's first question. Swadharma and Swakarma, they tend to merge as though. Then where is the need for conflict?
Yes.
Can you
but
give me an example? Can you
Yeah.
give me
So
an
when you are,
example?
yes, Nanaji, when you are doing a role in a professional setting,
Mhm.
sometimes you are faced with a situation where you have to act against your Swadharma.
Why?
Because I can give an example of from my professional career. I used to teach nutrition and dietetics at the university, and there was a lot of conflicting information that I had to teach these students, though
Why?
it didn't.
Why were you
Because
required to teach
that was
conflicting
prescribed in the
information?
syllabus. That was prescribed in the syllabus.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I used to tell my students, for your grades, you write all this, but in your life, you practice all this.
Good. Very good. What you have done is good. You have been truthful to yourself and to the students. Okay? Your Swakarma, Swadharma, you have not forsaken. You have told as per syllabus what was required to be told, while cautioning the students that it is not the final thing. It is not the absolute truth. The truth is quite different. That's what you have hinted to them. So you are
Yes.
true to your own self and true to the group of students. There's no conflict.
Yes.
Where is
However,
the
now I
conflict?
find,
But where is the conflict?
in my mind, that I am teaching something that is not true. That used to come to me all the time.
No.
But
What you
then
have
I
done,
had to,
after you have done what you have done, did you feel guilty or did you
no,
feel normal?
I felt calm, like having
Calm.
shared the truth.
That is
I
that
felt
is the
calm.
that is the test for the action
Okay.
you have taken. Considering that you are a discriminating person, I'm not talking of people who really do not care what they do, etc. I'm talking of people who are Viveka Buddhi Sahitaha. Those people, that kind of people, if they do not feel guilty after what they have done, that is the only thing to have been done. There's no conflict. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruha naiskadmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigachyati. Sumaji, there are occasions when, after you have accomplished a task, you perhaps felt guilty. And that is the time when the recipient of the effect of your action, you would perhaps telephone and tell that person, I'm so sorry, I did not mean it. Somehow this rolled out of my tongue. I did not mean to say this. I'm feeling very bad about it. You must please kindly pardon me. If you say that, you have washed off your guilt. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Only thing is, for us to be in a position to plead guilty and seek pardon, it requires subduing the ahankara. The egotism should not come in the way. If it comes in the way, you will never apologize. And your guilt will continue. The so-called conflict you said, that will stay with you. So you want to make yourself happy, peaceful in your mind, you would better own up the responsibility for the bad action. You will tend to do that if you are a wise person. If you are otherwise, it is different. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Nanaji.
Yeah. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. We have seen this. The one whose mind is free from attachment everywhere. On this attachment we dwelt at length. This attachment is not at fault really. Only thing is you can enlarge that and render that attachment into universal love. And the universal love will take you forward. Whose mind is free from attachment everywhere, that is, whose mind is full of universal love, who has self-mastery and from whom longing has gone, gains the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness by renunciation. This most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness is only by Atmajnana, by the recognition that Atma does not do. It does not enjoy. Na kartrutvam na bhoktrutvam Atmani. Whoever realizes that by jnanam, then he seems to have attained to the supreme actionlessness accomplishment. Okay, next verse. 50. Yeah. Siddhim prapto yada brahma tadapnoti nibodha me samasenaiva kaunteya nishta jnanasya ya para. Bhagavan keeps on saying samasenaiva. If samasenaiva means what? What is the samasa? What is the samasenaiva? In brief. In brief. And in brief, Bhagavan carried on with 17 chapters. That is all in brief. Huh? This is only to make Arjuna become very attentive. I am going to say this truth in brief. You better pay attention. Samasenaiva kaunteya nishta jnanasya yapara. Nibodhame, I am going to unfold to you, you listen. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma. Hey kaunteya, Arjuna, siddhim praptaha. One who has gained the accomplishment of whatever was said in the earlier verse. Okay? What was said in the earlier verse? Paramam naishkarmya siddhim. That requires a preparation of the mind. That preparation of the mind is the purity of the mind. That purity of the mind is called the siddhi here. Kaunteya siddhim praptaha, the one who has gained the antakarana shuddhi, yatha, how, jnanasya paranishta, that is the nishta, that is the adherence, ultimate certainty of knowledge is being gained by me. I am making an effort in that direction. Iti, whoever has got that drudha nishchaya, that is called the jnana nishta. That jnana nishta, Brahma apnoti, he gains Brahman, tadha, just like that. Samasenaiva, in brief, me nibodha, learn from me. How the one who has gained the accomplishment of antakarana shuddhi, that is the siddhi, gains the ultimate certainty of knowledge, that is the jnana nishta, that is Brahman, learn from me in brief, O son of Kunti. What is jnana nishta? There are times when we know that this is not correct, but still the incorrect thing only we do. That's because of what? Lack of nishta in what we have known. What we have known is considered as jnanam. In that jnanam, we have got an appreciation that indeed this is correct. But by force of habit, viparita bhavanena, by force of habit, like Brahmara and I, though we are committed to chanting 30 verses, we chant a few more verses. Force of habit and force of the impact of the sloka, which has made us chant till then, we may chant some 2-3 more. That is the viparita bhavana. It is the force of habit. Though convinced about the reality of a thing, we will catch on with the unreality of the thing because of our earlier pursuit. We have not been used to that reality. So we are used to only the mithya, that mithya of that object, and we carry on with that. That if you can turn a new leaf in your thinking and in your adherence to knowledge which you have picked up, that is the jnana nishta, gains the ultimate certainty of knowledge. That is jnana nishta. That is Brahman. Learn from me in brief, son of Kutti. How will you gain that jnana nishta? Please understand. Listen to me carefully. In brief, I am going to say, don't you ask any more questions. Be attentive. That is the message of Kitaya. Because look at it this way. This chapter is going to end soon enough. We are in the 50th verse. There are 28 more verses. Yeah, that means almost more than half we have covered. We just need to cover just maybe 1/3 of the slokas. So Kitaya knows, and time is fast approaching. Not only that, Kitaya is aware that the opposing forces, commanded by Bhishmacharya and ably supported by Dronacharya, and very enviously being viewed by Duryodhana, all these are looking at both Krishna and Arjuna. What is all this? What is this great dialogue going on? We have blown the conches and everybody is ready. The arrows are about to be released. What is all this happening? This kind of an attitude of theirs, Ketaya could pick up very easily. And so he is kind of racing away. That's why he said, in brief, I am telling you, listen carefully. Next verse, please. All these have been said earlier in the various chapters, and all those things are being summed up again. Buddhya, Vishuddhaya Yuktaha, Dhrutyatmanam Niyamya cha, Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva, Raga Dvesho Vyudasya cha. This Vyudasya cha is the same thing as Tyaktva. Okay? Raga Dvesha Vyudasya cha. Whatever ragas and dveshas occur in your mind, those also Tyaktva. Buddhya, Vishuddhaya Buddhya, a mind which is very, very certain about what is good, what is to be given up, what is to be adhered to, what is to be forsaken. That kind of a Vishuddhaya Bhakti. And how did you get that Vishuddhaya Bhakti, Buddhi?
Practice of Karma Yoga.
Conforming to what all Bhagavan said till now, and you have been practicing chapter after chapter, you have been improving in your attitude. All that has rendered you into a Vishuddhaya Buddhi. You are a Vishuddhaya Bhuktiman, Vishuddhaya Buddhiman, Vishuddhaya Buddhya, with the mind that is very, very clear. Yuktaha, and who is together. He is with himself. There's no conflict in him. There is no struggle with his mind at all. Dhrutya, we have seen this Dhruti, threefold Dhruti we have seen. This Dhrutya means this is Sattvika Dhruti. Sattvika Dhruti. With that, Sattvika Dhruti, with that resolve, Atmanam. Atmanam is the entire Antakarana plus the Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas, Atmanam, that is yourself totally. You, the entire being. That is what is mentioned here. Body, mind, sense complex. Niyamya. Niyamya means you make that, listen to your mind all the time. Mastering. Okay? Niyamya. Yama is mentioned here. Yama, niyamya, yama, niyama, that you are mastering that. This conglomerate of body, mind, sense complex, niyamya, mastering. Cha Shabdadin Vishayan, sense objects beginning with sound, etc. Shabda Adin. Adin means beginning with, starting with. Why it started with Shabda? Why not with some rasa?
Shabda is the one which represents space. It is
Correct. Space is the first element
First.
which evolved out of Maya. That is how, and the Shabda is the quality of space. That Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva, all these giving up. Giving up means you can't give up the sense organs. Sense organs will be in pursuit of the sense objects. Those sense objects, the craving for the sense objects, Tyaktva. Tyaktva. And together with that, Ragadvesho, your likes and dislikes, Yudasyacha, and Yudasyacha, whatever occur in your mind regarding what you like, what is a pleasurable thing you like, and what is a painful thing you naturally dislike. All those things you have kind of understood. All those things are also given up. Given up by what? By understanding. Understanding is the most important thing for lifting ourselves by ourselves. Uddhared atmanatmanam, na atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva atmano bandhu. If we have the capacity to understand the situations and understand our mind and how do we react, etc., then uddhared atmanatmanam, we will be in a position to lift ourselves up by ourselves. Then Atmaiva Hyatmana Bandhu, you will become your Bandhu. Bandhu means the one who wishes you well. Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha, otherwise you will become your own enemy. You have no intention of rendering yourself into an enemy for yourself. That is why Ragadvesha Yudasyacha Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva Ragadvesho Yudasyacha. All these things to be done with what? Vishuddhaya Buddhya Yuktaha. You are together. You are capable of understanding the situation. You are very objective. You are not putting your attachments and other things in front and then start thinking. No, you are being very objective. Dhrutya Atmanam Niyamyacha. All these Niyamyacha mastering, you will go forward. That is how you can gain by means of the Siddhi which you have acquired, which is Antakarana Shuddhi. By that means, which is Antakarana Shuddhi, Param Naishkarmya Siddhim Apnoti. With these, you will be able to attain to that. Right? The one who endowed with a mind that is very clear, mastering the body, mind, sense complex, being endowed with the firm resolve, which is a sattvika resolve. It's not a tamasika resolve. Okay, and giving up the sense objects such as sound and giving up likes and dislikes. Giving up means by understanding. When you understand, they will simply drop off. They will, when you understand attachment, that you will get detached with. When you do not understand attachment, it will double itself. And see, as a member of the household, you are indeed likely to get attached. Yes, there's nothing wrong in that. But in the 13th chapter, Bhagavan said what? Asaktihi anabhishwangaha putra dara gruhadishu putreshu dareshu pateshu. Dara is for men, pateshu for women. Putra, pateshu, gruhadishu. In respect of all this, asaktihi, don't be excessively concerned. Asaktihi, you are in charge of a house. Keep it in good trim. Asaktihi, because keeping that in good trim is your swadharma. And that becomes part of your swakarma also. Keep it nicely. And if it develops some scar here and there on the wall, don't you be worried. It is a nature of things through entropy to keep on changing, to keep on deteriorating. Accept that. Be objective. That acceptance of a thing which cannot be otherwise is being objective. Right? Like in the rainy season, of course it's rain. It rains. Oh my God, why is it raining? I wanted to go out. You can still go out, have a raincoat and go out, have an umbrella and go out. Be objective. Why are you blaming the rain in the rainy season? Why are you blaming the chill in the winter? Why are you blaming the sun in summer? These are natural things to happen. Be objective. Accept reality that is being objective. So the one who endowed with a mind, this is Renu Gupta, kindly explain what is real meaning of giving up sound. Not giving up sound. The sound's object. You are not, Renuji, you are not giving up sound. Sense objects. Sound is not an object.
All such objects beginning with sound. What does that mean?
No, I will explain myself. Here, Bhagavan is not saying give up sound. Shabdadin Vishayan. That Vishayan is the object of the Shabda. Shabda is that sense organ. Okay? Your organ of hearing. Your organ of hearing has got a sense object. What is that object? A music. Some people would like to have very, very subdued music. Some people would like to have some Lord Lappa music. Keeps on having a lot of instruments, like it happens in American clubs and parties. Huge number of different musical instruments will be used at the same time, and a lot of sound and a lot of shouting and things like that. And they will consider that as a good song. Some people like that. Some people like very soft music. Some people like Carnatic music. Some people like Hindustani music. Okay, some people like, what is that? Those people in the 1950s. Who were those? Those set of my friends.
Blues.
Huh?
Beatles.
Those Beatles. That was a craze. Such a great craze it was. A lot of big people also fell for those. Not only big people fell for those, these Beatles fell for some Swamijis. Maharshi Mahesh Yogi was their guru also. Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, who kind of invented, as though, if I'm allowed to say so, transcending the mind, transcendental meditation. Meditation is an activity of the mind. When you transcend the mind, how can you meditate? Anyway, that was that Mahatma's viewpoint. And these people fell for him, and they were his shishyas. And those are all the objects of the sound, objects of the senses. Dr. Renuji, it is not sound that is to be given up. It is the object of the sound, like music, that is to be given up. Your like and dislike of a particular music and hate of a particular music, those are to be given up. Ragadvesham yudasya. These ragadveshas also to be given up. Ragadveshas based on your attachment. The sense organs getting attached to sense objects. That will have to be given up. That attachment to be given up. Not the sound that's there. Bhagavan did not say, give up sound. Your question was how to give up sound. No. Give up your attachment to a particular object of the sound. Okay? Right.
Thank you, Nana. And
Yeah,
this,
thank you. The one, Tatparya, Brahmara. The one who endowed with a mind that is very clear, mastering the body, mind, sense complex, being endowed with firm resolve, and giving up the sense objects such as sound. Sense objects, it is not sound that is given up. Sense objects such as sound. The object of the sound is that music, okay? Giving up those and giving up likes and dislikes. Next verse, please. Vivikta Sevi Lagvasi, is it? No, 51, I think. 51 or, yeah, 52. Did we cover 51 or 50 earlier?
We finished 51, Nana.
51, okay. Vivikta Sevi Lagvasi, Yatavakaya Manasaha, Dhyana Yoga Paronityam, Vairagyam Samupashritaha. Now you replay in your mind what all you have learned till now through so many chapters of the Gita. What is not mentioned earlier? What we have picked up in the 51st verse? Was it not mentioned by Kataya earlier? Ragadvesho Vyudasya cha Shabdhadin Vishayan Chektva Buddhya Vishuddhaya Yuktaha Dhrutyatmanam Niyamya cha. All these things have been mentioned in perhaps a different style, but all these were mentioned. Now, Vivikta Sevi. Vivikta Sevi means you will have to have a natural urge to go to a place where you can practice what you want to practice undisturbed. A place which is not frequented by people who can have a disturbing influence on what you want to do. Vivikta Sevi, a quiet place. In Ekaki, earlier in the 13th chapter, I think, Ekaki yata chittatma nirashihi aparigraha.
Isn't that the 6th chapter?
6th chapter, maybe, yeah, 6th chapter.
5th or 6th, yeah.
Yeah, 5th and 6th. Ekaki, you must develop a liking for being alone. Why being alone? Because generally you have a poor esteem of yourself, and to enhance the esteem, you want to be in the midst of people who will, as though, give a diversion to your mind, which is rather low in self-esteem. And they will say, oh, you are Indra, you are Chandra, you are Sita, you are Anasuya, etc., whatever. And then you feel elated. That kind of a thing, that Jana Samsadi, you must develop arati. You must develop a dislike. Not dislike, you should not develop liking. You should not develop liking for proliferating to groups of people, a conglomeration of people. And all those things, those people are what? Generally, that is a collection of egotists. All of us are egotists in one way or the other. But when you go to the center of a collection of egotists, then there is no way your egotism can be diluted. It will be inflamed. That is why Aratir Jana Samsadi was mentioned in the 13th chapter. Like Brahmara said, Ekaki, 6th chapter. Yatachittatma. Yatachittatma was mentioned. Here, what is mentioned in the 51st verse? Yatachittatma was mentioned slightly differently. How was that? How was that mentioned?
Ragatve.
Shabdadin Vishayam Chakpa. Here, before that. Dhrityatmanam niyamya cha, atmanam niyamya cha. Ekaki yatachittatma, that yatachittatma, dhrityatmanam niyamya cha. They are the same. Yatachittatma, all those things. Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, hey, I told you earlier, I'm repeating now. Don't you please forget. Listen to this carefully. You assimilate what I have said and try to live what you have known. Your understanding must improve for you to practice what you have understood. And that is the nishtha. Let it be jnana nishtha, let it be karma nishtha, whatever you require a nishtha. That nishtha requires shraddha. That shraddha is what? Sattvika shraddha you require. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. What glorious words have been used. Sattva anurupa, in accordance with the sattva, in accordance with your purva janma samskara, that samskara bala janita shraddha. That shraddha is based on what you have already been till now. Using that, do all these things. This was pointed out earlier. Vivikta deshi si lagvasi. Lagvasi means what? You have to eat to the extent body requires nourishment. Simply because some food item is very, very tasty, don't keep on devouring. My guru, when I was in Bangalore, used to advise us, if you have a feeling of having a second health, stop. If you are, supposing you have gone to a party, some buffet and things like that, and you are helping yourself into your plate some items. One particular item is so very tasty, you wanted to have a second help. He used to tell us, whenever you have that kind of an urge, don't satisfy your urge for two reasons. What you have taken is good enough for you. Number two, for you to not lose the taste for what you have liked, stop taking a second help. Lagvasi, what is required for the body only you take. Lagvasi.
Nana, can you repeat the last sentence you said just now regarding not losing the taste for what you have eaten? I couldn't really.
That is, anything good you must remember. A good taste also, nothing wrong in you are trying to remember, but you will tend to forget that good taste will become as though bad. Okay, as though bad. There is a saying in Telugu, Tenaga, Garelu Kanarikkeno. Garelu is a donut-like thing. Okay? That donut-like thing, when you have taken one, it was very tasty. You have taken another. Oh, taste as though continues. And if you have devoured some half a dozen, 5 or 6, then it tastes as though it is as though not so very tasty after all. And when you have started on the 8th donut, it looks as though it is putrefied. Hey, why is it smelling like this? This kind of a thing. Tenaga, if you keep on eating like that, like a glutton, then what happens is this. Even the most lovable thing, okay, most wanted thing also becomes very sour.
Right.
Lagvasi, yata vakaya manasaha. Vak, kaya, manasaha. Vak, your speech. Kaya, your body. Manasaha, your antakarana. Manovakaya. Manovakaya, yataha. Yataha means jitaha. You have mastered those. Don't you keep on yapping simply because you have as though come to know something. There may be people in the group to whom you are talking, they're perhaps more knowledgeable. You try to pick up that knowledge from them. Don't unnecessarily waste your breath keeping on talking. Yata vakaya manasa vak kaya. Kaya is your body, okay? Manasaha, your mind also. All these things properly you master. Jhana yoga paraha. Jhana yoga paraha. Develop a liking for jhana. Develop a liking for jhana. And what is jhana? What is nididhyasana? We have covered already. Jhana yoga paro nityam. Nityam. Nityam is sarvashaha, always. Nityam. And vairagyam samupashritaha. Vairagyam is what? Vairagyam is what?
Trartha Phalabhoga Viraga.
Tattva-bodha. Iham amutra phalabhogeshu viragaha. That is Vairagyam. Samupashyataha. Having those acquired very, very nicely. Having all those things acquired nicely. The one who lives in a quiet place, who eats lightly, not that he undertakes a lot of what is that upavasam. No, it is not that. The golden rule is with solids, your tummy must be half full. With liquids, another quarter full. And the last quarter must be left for digestive gases to escape. That is lagvasi. That is laghu. Laghu means simple. That laghu is used by Parvati Devi also in a question to Ishvara. In the Vishnu Sahasranama. Atha kena prayukto. No, not that. That Arjuna's. What is that? Vyasabhavacha Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhavanatrayam Sarvalokanivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. Parvati Kenopayena, very right, sir. Correct. Thank you, friend. Kenopayena Laguna Vishnor Nama Sahasrakam Pachite Panditair Nityam Shrotamichamyaham Prabhu. That Laguna was mentioned. That Laguna is applied to for eating. Lagvasi Yatavakaya Manasaha Dhyana Yoga Paraha Nityam Vairagyam Samupashritaha. There are a few more verses which we will cover tomorrow. Okay? All right. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om. Dhanyavad Nanaji.
Dhanyavad.
Hari Om.
Dhanyavad, Nanaji. Hari Om.